Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are going to do a video of passage, which is your read passage from your book, and this is a poem, and name of this poem is My Shadow. So let us see that what is there in this poem. So at first we are going to read the poem. The poem title is My Shadow and it has been written by Robert Louis Stevenson. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me from the hills up to head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. So, in the first stanza only, the poet has set the mood by saying this, that there is no use of the shadow, okay? It is just sticking with me and being with me, that is only his work. Other than that, he is not doing anything. And he has also said that he is a true copy of the poet, because from hill to the top he is looking like him. And I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. Okay, this was another example by which the poet wanted to say that he was exactly sleepyhead and lazy like me, that whenever I am going to the bed, before than me he is jumping into my bed. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow, not at all like proper children, which is always very slow, for he sometimes shoots up, taller like an Indian rubber ball, and he sometimes goes so little that there is none of him at all. This is a scientific thing, that whenever the light is little tilted, the shadow is longer. But if the light is over your head, at that point of time, the shadow will be very tiny, or even you are not able to see. So that is what the poet is trying to say here in very funny way, that the shadow is not growing like a normal child. Okay, sometime it is taller like anything, and sometime you are not able to see. It is like none. He hasn't got a notion of how children ought to play, and can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. He stays so close behind me. He's a coward, you can see. I would think shame to stick to Nursey as that shadow sticks to me. Okay, the poet wanted to say here that when you look at the shadow, you'll come to know that it has never learned that how to play. He is just fooling around. He is just going running around, and he will do whatever you will do. Okay, try to imitate you. Okay, other than that, he was always close behind me. Why? Because he is a coward. Okay, he is very much afraid of everyone, so that's why it is always behind me, and I would not like to stick to anything like the shadow sticks to me. Now the last stanza says that one morning very early, before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup, but my lazy little shadow, like an errant sleepy head, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. In this stanza, the poet wanted to say that one day early in the morning when I woke up, then I was not able to find my shadow. Okay, and I thought that he must be sleeping, as he is very lazy and he is a sleepy head. Okay, but the scientific matter is that when the light is not present, so at that point of time you are not able to see the shadow. Okay, but he has said it in a funny way. So that was the poem. Now let us do the question answers. Complete the following statement choosing from the options given below each incomplete statement. So first question, the shadow jumped into the bed before the poet because. What is the reason behind it? So the correct answer will be the option number B. The light in the poet's bedroom was probably behind him, so when he jumped into the bed, it seemed as if the shadow jumped before him. Question number 2. When the shadows stick to the poet, he feels what? Secure, like laughing, embarrassed. The correct answer is C. Embarrassed. Question number 3. The poet described the shadow as if it were a person with many difficult words, or C. in very scientific manner. So the correct answer is A. As if it were a person. Some questions are here. First question is, why does the poet call the shadow a coward and lazy? Okay, so there are many reasons because of that he said the shadow is coward and lazy. One, The shadow is always sticking behind the poet, so that's why he was coward. Lazy, because he never wanted to wake up early in the morning, according to the poet, so that's why he was lazy. Question number 2. How do proper children grow according to the poet? In what way is the shadow different from proper children? So, proper children grow gradually and slowly, according to the poet, but the shadow grows, sometimes it shoots up very tall, and sometimes it's become very small. Okay, so that's why it was not like a proper children. Third, what is the significance of the fact that the shadow is like the poet from hill up to the head? So the importance of this is the shadow is of poet only, so obviously it will look like the poet from hill up to the head. Why do you think did the shadow not accompany the poet when he went out early in the morning? When the poet woke up early in the morning and went out, at that point of time the light was not present. The sun has not risen yet, so that's why the shadow was not accompany along with the poet. But according to the poet, he must be sleeping at that point of time. Now these are the answers which we have already discussed. Now you have to write all these answers. I will be giving an assignment along with this in which the questions and answers both of them will be there, so you could easily use that and write the answers. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you. Bye bye.